This is unprecedented. I don't think I've ever heard friends of a member of the royal family speaking up for her like this, in this kind of way. They spoke exclusively to People, this week's cover story about the woman they know and love, to set the record straight. 5 women from her inner circle, a longtime friend, a former co-star, a friend from LA, a one-time colleague and a close confidant, all speaking up for the first time. The truth about Meghan, People magazine's headline says. 5 friends speaking out against what they call global bullying.
Meghan's friends have seen her depicted in the UK press negatively, labeled as Duchess difficult. They're worried about her and they're worried about the baby, and it's time for them to speak out on her behalf.
Meghan's dad has claimed she won't answer his messages. But before the wedding, one longtime friend says he wouldn't take her calls. After the wedding, Meghan wrote a letter, the friend remembers, saying, "Dad, I'm so heartbroken. I love you. I have one father. Please stop victimizing me through the media so we can repair our relationship." The friend says Thomas Markle replied to his daughter with a long note that ended by asking for a media photo op. He knows how to get in touch with her, the friend says. He's never called, never texted. She's devastated, and at the same time, she has a lot of sympathy for him. The friend's also fighting back against anonymous reports about the wedding itself. She didn't throw a fit about a tiara or ask for a fragrance to be sprayed, one says. Another describing how spiritual she is, how serious and respectful she takes her relationship with God, adding she'd never ask for something like that. Claims that Meghan is hard to work with are also unfair, the friends say. She's incredibly grateful for everything her team at Kensington Palace does for her.
Meghan just sort of sits back and silently endures a lot of these lies and mistruths.
And the friends offer a rare insight into Harry and Meghan's surprisingly simple life. Meghan cooks for herself and Harry every single day. There's no chef or butler. Apparently, she even styles herself.
One of the things one of her friends told us is that when she hears folks say that Meghan is acting, or this is her biggest acting role to date, that it couldn't be further from the truth.
And guys, I just do not believe that these friends will have spoken out without the permission of Meghan and of Harry. Right. Harry privately has been wanting to defend her against these criticisms and these accusations that have been playing out for months. But good for them for standing up for her. In a way, it's a testament to her that her friends are prepared to do this.
Well, it definitely felt like an orchestrated kind of thing, which is fine. But is it really so? Is the criticism that bad? I don't feel like we hear it or see it as much here.
I agree.
It must be at a point where she feels like she has to speak up.
She has gone through a wave of criticism in the media, and it's, I guess, in a way, we've talked about it, it's the kind of thing that every new member of the royal family suffers from. But at the same time, when you think about Harry's history with his mom and things, you can imagine why he is so determined to defend his wife.
Well, her father's not doing her any favors either.
There's that.
All right. Unfortunate, she's about to have a baby. It's the last thing she needs to be thinking about.
Thanks, Keir.
Keir, thank you. To read the rest of the story, pick up this week's issue of People on newsstands nationwide Friday.